contact. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, the wild kitties. I haven't seen them this morning, but I assume they're fine. Wild kitties. Wild kitties. Crazy kitties. Is that a friend of D? No. D doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any dog friends except for Salvador and Yuji. And my mom's little dog, Marley. And those are the only dogs he'll put up with. Did you eat something? Somebody named themselves Remember to Eat. Holy shit, bro. You guys are way too good at this stuff. I will. I'll grab something when I go in to get my coffee. Thank you for the reminder. I'll grab a bite. What'd it do? Good morning. Yep. Stay hydrated, everyone. Like the shirt? Me too. Who's that handsome devil? It also reminds me, well, hey. Yeah, you don't want kidney stones. You gotta keep the water going through you, always. You should always be sipping on your water, always. So, if there's peacocks in the neighborhood, which we found out last night, why are they not fucking squawking right now? You know? Like, isn't daytime usually when they do the squawk? I'm spooked. It's a peacock. It's like a zoo where I'm at. Yeah, I know. It's wildlife central out here, man. Listen to them. I don't even know what that is. What is that? I hear a new bird call, like now that spring has come and the birds are coming to fucking roost and shit. I hear a new bird call almost every day that I'm out here that I haven't heard out here before. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? The monkeys in Cincinnati? Oh, What happened to the monkeys in Cincinnati? Hear that? All right. I don't know what that is. How you feeling after the 5G shot? I'm okay. Like I said, my arm feels like. You remember, I used to play this when I was a kid. We used to play. I don't even remember what it was called. But like you would punch somebody in the arm as hard as you could, and then you'd have to like present your arm, and then you'd go back and forth until one of you tapped. I feel like I played that yesterday and lost. You know what I mean? But other than that, I feel fine this morning. You're thinking about the birds too much. Don't tell me what to fucking think about, Crescent Slice. I'll think about birds all fucking day. I'll spend the rest of my life contemplating birds if I want to. It just feels like a bruise, honestly. It just feels like I got, hit with something. And that's it. And that didn't even happen right away. It took like 6 or 7 hours for that to set in yesterday. And it's better today than it was yesterday. It's just like tender. Just for that, spend the rest of the stream talking about birds. I know. Who the fuck is Crescent Slice think he is? I can't sit out on my own goddamn fucking porch and run my own goddamn fucking stream and talk about my own goddamn fucking birds in my own goddamn fucking backyard. Is this America? I thought this was America, not 1984, literally. Hello, mate. Your arm will feel back to normal by the end of the day, probably. Probably so. I don't know. I doubt that. It just feels like a bruise. A couple of days, it'll be sore. Probably should have cleared my schedule for after I got the shot. I don't know if I'm gonna feel like shit. Oh well. I mean, like last night, if you guys watched my stream, last night after I'd had the shot in me for about 11 or 12 hours, I started to feel kind of shitty. Like just to like run down a little bit and achy. And I went to bed last night, woke up this morning, and I feel fine. So there you go. That's with the Pfizer one. I can't speak for the other ones. I got the old Pfizer. Yeah, a lot of places are opening up, so you should check your local stuff and see if there's places you can go to snag it. I know that like a lot of people are just going to like Walgreens or CVS. That's not where I went. I went to a county health building, but my mom actually just walked into a fucking CVS and got in line for it, and they just gave it to her like weeks ago. Now, of course, my mom's older, but you know what I mean? It's possible. So just like look around at your options and shit. Just go get it. Like the quicker especially if you're getting the 2-dose one, the quicker you get your first dose, the quicker you can get your second dose, and then you're good to, not completely go back to normal or whatever, but you're good to travel and shit. Pull out your dick, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Just signed up on my county's website. That is good. You get yourself a date, you show up, and get yourself your shot. I'm vaccinated and you can still get COVID. Of course you can. Vaccination is to protect other people and to protect yourself a little bit, to provide a basis of immunity in your body. It's not to like make you fucking like COVID immune. A resistant. Keith. Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland. Sorry to bring it back to Outriders again, dude, but you weren't kidding. I got to level 9 this morning playing less. I told you. Like I told you, it's quick. You just do the side quests and... But yeah, no, if you're level 9 this morning, then we can start... We can hook it up. Getting a party. Ooh. I think what I'll probably do with you, Pranav, is like I'll play my my Technomancer until we get about the same level as my Devastator is, and I'll just start playing him because I really like the Devastator. So slavery is always an option for the rich, huh? What are you talking about? I looked up all the pharmacy chains around my house and everyone says vaccinations unavailable except for one. Then go to the one that doesn't say that. Paul, slavery. What do you mean slavery is always an option for the rich? What are you talking about, bro? On my post-op appointment for surgery today at 4:30. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think we're both in the same time zone, but yeah, I have to work today too. I think I'll probably be done by 6 or 7, so that'll be good. I can hook up and play a little bit. Ever thought of riding a nice big Harley? No. I'm not a motorcycle guy. I think they're cool, but I would never like want to ride one around. College atheists, you're hidden. I'll see you later. That's the second like total piece of nonsense that you've thrown out in the chat, so you're banned. I could see Paul on a Fat Boy or a Honda Goldwing, a cruiser. Yeah. I think I'd probably have to get like one that has ape hangers, you know what I mean? A Roadster. Big old ape hangers. I think that's the one that I'd look the best on. But I don't like motorcycles, so. Used to want a crotch rocket, but they're just too dangerous. Yeah, I mean, that's really what gets me with it, too. It's like how much more dangerous it is to ride a fucking motorcycle than it is to just go jump in your fucking car. You know what I mean? My car's got, like, automatic braking systems and airbags and shit, and if I were to ride a motorcycle, I would literally just be out in the air, ready to be spraddled all over the fucking road. I'm gonna go grab my coffee. Be right back. Thunder. She told me to come, but I was already there. And the world stopped shaking. The earth started quaking. I got a super chat. Paul, you the blackest DFF member. Thanks, Black Butter Crunch. Are you a Bon Scott guy or Brian Johnson or both? I mean, I can appreciate both, but AC/DC's never really, I can't really, it doesn't get off the ground for me, you know what I mean? You know it's true, yeah. I'm definitely the only one with rhythm. You know what I mean? on the DFF stage. I've got rhythm. I can bust out. Got a little bit of rhythm. I used to be able to do the Cabbage Patch, so I guess that fucking... What are your feelings on the Metal Gear Solid games? I like the first one. The second one got a little wacky for me, and I think it sucks that you had to play as a dork instead of Snake for most of it, or all of it. And then after that, I stopped paying attention. So that's my feelings on the Metal Gear Solid games. Yeah, I can't. I just couldn't get into them after that. I don't know. I played 1 and 2. I beat 1 and 2, and I was like, after 2, I was like, I'm not really, I can't follow this shit anymore. So I've never played Snake Eater. I played a little bit of 4 on the PS4, but couldn't get into it. I don't know. Just not my thing. That's what I got into, was the story and shit. Like, narrative-wise, the first one, like, was crazy, but not so crazy that it was unfollowable. And it just seemed like, you know, Snake versus this cast of supervillains kind of thing. They wove in some of the weird cloning stuff at the end and yada yada, but overall, like, the game was easy to follow. What's your schedule like lately? Are you still recording all the time, or have you saved enough episodes to slow down yet? So we've saved quite a few episodes, but we're not quite slowing down yet. We've, well, I can't talk about too much. Suffice it to say that we're making some functional changes. So we're still hitting the grindstone. We're still nose to the grindstone, so. Planning for that post-COVID vacation. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ideas here. I'm pretty sure that, well, I don't want to reveal too much about what may or may not go on, but I'm pretty sure this summer, me and the guys are going to meet up, film some content, and just hang out as buddies and bros and friends. Where that'll go down, I'm not 100% sure just yet, but I'm 99% sure that this summer we're going to be getting together for a couple weeks, or a week, or something like that. So that'll be cool. After that, or maybe even before that, I don't know. Like May, I might be able to take a little trip somewhere. But more than likely, it'll be August or September before I can really take my own, like a trip that's just for me and Amelia. Keith. Oh, Keith. Why you gotta be so mean? There's a cool lazy river type thing going on at one of the beaches in Sandwich. Dude, who the fuck cares about Sandwich? I like to eat a sandwich, but I'm not visiting no goddamn fucking Sandwich. I don't want to go to a place named Sandwich. Well, the plan for me and Amelia's first trip by ourselves is probably going to be Pennsylvania and then New York. She has family in New York on Long Island, so we're going to go visit them. And then in Pennsylvania is where the tattoo artist that I want to work with is, so I want to get a bunch of work done. So that'll probably be the first trip that I take, and I would guess I need to get with dude and see if I can book him or whatever the fuck. I know he books out fucking, he's a popular tattoo artist, so I got to be careful about when I book him, but I'm thinking like August, September, I'll be able to do a little back east extravaganza. Missed the stream where you talked about Afrikaans. Then how do you know I talked about Afrikaans? If you missed it. You're thinking Dorsia? I could get us into Dorsia. You gonna get a tattoo sleeve? That would look sick. Well, I'm gonna start on some tattoos that I've wanted for a while. Gonna start probably backwards when it comes to getting sleeves, but I'd like to get my hands and forearms done, like up to here. So it looks like I'm wearing tattoo gloves. Now, I don't know if they'll be completely covered. I've got an idea for a design for this arm and a design for this arm. The one on this arm wouldn't encroach much on the back of my arm. The one on this arm might. And then I've got a design for my hands, or some ideas for the tops of my hands. So, what meaning do these tattoos you want have? Or are they just cool looking? I wouldn't get them if they didn't have some level of personal meaning to them. You know, they're also going to be cool looking. Hopefully. Yes, I'm aware that there's a, pirated playlist floating around out there and shit. There's really nothing that we can do about that. Maybe sometime in the future, but what are you gonna do? Sit here and get mad about it? Like, if people are gonna steal one way or the other, so it's just like you gotta come to terms with it as a content creator. It used to bother me a whole fucking lot, especially when we first started DFF. Like, when we first started DFF, you guys gotta understand, my position was I had nothing, right? I had fucking nothing. And I put everything that I had into conceptualizing and starting the show. And right out the gate, people were stealing. And it just felt like, man, you're stealing from, me personally, a dude that has nothing. You know what I mean? And so it bugged me at the beginning. But I will tell you this. The amount of people that bought in and paid anyway, even probably most of them knowing that they could go steal and shit, was fucking amazing to me. And I very quickly learned that, like, you know what? People are going to do that no matter what you do. And it's better to focus on those people that really enjoy what you're doing and are willing to fucking come out of pocket a little bit for it. And so that's what we do. You know what I mean? People will steal. What about the people who stole from Lars Ulrich? The giant rock star that was a multimillionaire? Yeah, I don't know. It hits a little different, you know? Hits a little different when you're downloading a podcast of a person who, you know, literally has no money. Paul was needlessly rude to me once, and this is my revenge consequences. Paul the Ball, find us all. What? That's just like... if that's the case, like if stealing what I do because I was rude to you one time, and you're still out there doing it, like, I don't even know what to tell you, dude. Not the best way to look at it, but people wouldn't steal it if it wasn't worth stealing. Plenty who will support the right way. Yeah, that's true. As an artist, I'd rather pay to watch content because I know how it feels to have my work stolen. For sure. I mean, it is what it is, dude. But, like, I'll be honest with you. I've reached a state where I just don't worry about it. People do, you know, what they're going to do. And I do whatever I can to make my stuff worth watching or worth stealing. You know what I mean? So... and everybody wins, I guess. I also think that I have, like, different priorities and goals and stuff than maybe some other YouTube people do. Like, I don't want to get it twisted with you guys. Like, I would not shirk the idea of, you know, being rich and famous and all that shit, right? But I'm not trying for it. Like, I don't think that that's where I'm headed, and I don't really care to orient myself towards that in any way other than what I'm doing. I've got a very, you know, I am what I am and that's all what I am type of look at this. And to be honest with you, I'm able to make money doing something that I genuinely love. And that to me is the priority over how much money I make doing this. And so, like, for me, and like I said, I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you that money isn't a factor or a consideration. I mean, we run a business, so being in a business, you have to consider money. But for me personally, my goals are not make tons and tons and piles of money. Like, that's cool if it comes along with it, but my goal is to make a fun show. To make a show that I have fun making and that people have fun watching and that people can laugh at and have a good time with.
And, like, you want to reach more people.
Right.
What growth is.
Right. I want the show to grow.
Yeah.
I want to reach more people because I know, like, I've been to our meetups. Like, here's the thing, guys. I've been to our meetups. And I'm not trying to stereotype our meetups, but it's neckbeards. It's leg beards. That's the type of people that watch us. There's a specific type of person. And I've stood in these venue halls that we've packed out with people. And I've gone like, this is but a fraction of this, you know, group of people. This is but a fraction of the people that have these types of interests. A leg beard is a female neck beard. It's just I don't know.
It's not a descriptor. It's like a
right.
click.
It's a click, right? Women typically, not always, but typically cannot grow neck beards, and so you know, leg beard. Anyway. So that's what I care about. I would like to get the show in front of the eyes of more people who are of like mind.
Yeah, that takes money to ads and stuff.
Yeah. True. I got hairy legs, Jack. But no, I care way more about being true to what I care about and what I present than I care about making money. So, I mean, of course, if I didn't make any money doing this, I wouldn't be able to do it. So, money has to be some kind of consideration, but it's just not the top for me.
Yeah.
I'm not striving to be this big fucking YouTube commentator. I wouldn't turn down the chance or have some big acting career, voice acting career, or whatever. I'm looking to entertain the people who want to watch me. I'm looking to get like-minded people to come and talk to me, to come and engage with my content, watch what I do, and laugh with me. That's what I care about. Right.
Like, probably the first time you've like paid for an employee out of pocket.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I want I want this show to reach more people. Because I firmly believe that there are more of us out there. Plus, Black Butter Crunch, who is confirmed to be black, told me that I was the blackest member of DFF. So that's that. Now I have two confirmed African American folks. Tim Black, who gave me my black card. Okay. He gave me a full-blown black card. And now Black Butter Crunch has told me that I am indeed the blackest of the DFF members. So, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? How many more until you get the gamer word pass? Unfortunately, I don't think that any amount of bestowals of honorary black status on a person of white skin tone gives you gamer word pass. I don't think it. I really do think that the line has to be drawn there. You know what I mean? I don't think you get the gamer word pass. I'm also the Asianist? No. Scott or TJ is the Asianist. For sure. TJ is the most Asian. Scotty's the most Dutch. What percentage of the black population to where you would get it? Yeah. Like, you would have to get like an in-person, face-to-face black card from like 80% of black folks to get a full gamer word pass, in my opinion. Because like the record skips. Like Black Butter Crunch could say, you know, that I'm the blackest DFF member. Tim Black could say, oh, Paul, here's your official black card. But if a white dude walks up to a group of black people and says, yo, what up, my gamer words, the record, wherever it is, skips. Like, even if it's just a car going by that the music is coming out of, you know what I mean? That cuts off. Just, you know what I mean? Am I wrong in saying gamer word means the N word? Yes. No. I mean, you're not wrong. That is what it means. Even then, 20% is a big number of people. I mean, yeah, but you couldn't get 20%. Like you couldn't do it with 20%. You'd have to get like 80 to 90%.
No, I think you're saying that, like, even getting 80%, 20% is a lot of people that
Right.
are mad at you.
You'd still have to make sure before you dropped it. Is this with a soft A or a hard R? I'm assuming the soft A. A hard R gamer word drop. Nobody does that in public. You know what I mean? Nobody greets anybody that way. You know what I mean? So yeah, basically all I have to do is make a personal appointment to go visit every African American family in America and then ask them if I can have a gamer word pass. And if they say yes, I need them all to say yes. So I guess I will have to prove to each of them personally that I deserve the gamer word pass. You know what? I think I'm just not going to say it. I think the easy way to do it is to not to say it. Gamer word pass. What if you're 2% African? Man, everybody's got their own path. I've figured mine out. You got to figure yours out, okay? I've always found it funny when whites refuse to say in, even when rapping along to a song. I mean, I wouldn't publicly rap along to a song with a bunch of N-bombs in it. I've done that. Like, I think on this channel here, there's a video of me doing Let Me Ride by Dr. Dre a cappella. I don't think it's named that, but I drop a bunch of N-bombs in that because that song is full of them. But, you know, times they are a-changin'. You better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. Paula's going to be canceled after this video leaks on TMZ. What did I start? I'm just joking. I'm joking around. Do you think it's problematic for white people to say it even when rapping with song lyrics? I think that there are probably contextual situations where that's okay. But to be quite frank with you, the word is laden with so much fucking negativity and history, especially here in America, that I almost feel like black people are owed that word for themselves in their culture. I almost feel like, yeah, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but I feel like that black people should be allowed that word. And no one else really should. They should get to have that word and use that word colloquially as they see fit. I think they've earned it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the best way of putting it. But, you know, I enjoy the fruits of black culture. I like hip hop. I always have. R&B music is fucking great. Jazz is great. I enjoy and black culture is very warm and inviting when it comes to the types of music and film that it is created and participated in. But I'm not a part of it. I didn't grow up around nothing but black people. I'm not a black person. I didn't grow up with that experience, and so I don't assume it. And I almost feel like a white person just blithely coming on and rapping a song with a bunch of N-bombs and shit in it is just being like, oh, I'm gonna set that aside. And I don't necessarily think that that's the right way to do things these days. Want you out of here.
And I mean, like, singing along in and of itself is like, that's not the intention for music, is to have every single person sing it.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. So Vamp says, even blacks take problem with that line of thinking, Paul. There's a large portion of old heads that find it disrespectful and self-defeating. I know. But see, that's not my argument to have, is what I'm trying to tell you. I did not grow up living black. I did not grow up under the unique social pressures that are on black people in America. And so that conversation between old heads and younger kids is not mine to have. I don't have the experience to have that. Where do I jump in that conversation? You tell me, Vamp. How do I go to a bunch of black people and go like, this is how the N-word should be used contextually and non-contextually and blah, 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 blah. And this is when it's okay and this is when it's like, what basis of argument do I have? What experience am I drawing on as a little white boy who grew up white to fucking go into the black community and go like, this is how it should be used? I try and listen when it comes to shit like that, to what black people say about how they feel when a white person uses that word versus when a black person uses that word. I try not to invalidate that experience, and so I don't say it. I don't think that there are millions of black people whose feelings about this are wrong. They hear a white person saying it, and it makes them feel bad. If they see a black person that they know come up to it and they're referred to it colloquially or refer to each other that way, they don't feel bad. It's something that's theirs. So can I invalidate that fucking feeling? Do I step in this argument? No. I try and listen to what they say. I guess I just wanted to hear your opinion. No, that's cool. I mean, you did a good job at getting it.
Someone brought up, like, acting roles. Like, if you were playing a role where that was in the script.
Yes, absolutely. Like if I like say I was cast in American History X, which is a movie about neo-Nazis. Now, say I got the role of Seth in that, who's the big fat guy, the big fat neo-Nazi in that movie. Yes. If I got a role saying that, where I played a character who said that shit, I would fucking say it.
So,
yes.
Yeah, there's more of a separation between playing a role and just
right
along with a song.
Because the overall, like,
yeah.
I would not play a role that was in a pro-Nazi movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I would not be in a movie that was glorifying Nazi, but like a role like that, American History X is a perfect example. Because the message of that film,
kind of shit.
Right, the message of that film is that this exists. It's hateful and horrible, and there's a better way. Like, that's the message of American History X. And so, yes, contextually, I think that I would play a character that was a reprehensible neo-Nazi or something in a film that didn't have a message that, like, neo-Nazi's cool, you know? But to me, that's different. That's not me deciding to go out in a social situation and use a word. You know what I mean? What are you talking about, Jax? Time out. Last time you talked about this on the stream a month ago, it really got me thinking about the use of it. And even though I only use it with music, I used to subscribe to the all or none is okay. Views change. My view on it has changed. And the reason that my view on it changed was because I talked to and listened to black people and how they feel about the use of that word and all of that stuff. I understand that I have a very unique experience growing up the way that I grew up, and every black person has a very unique experience growing up the way that they grew up. There's no, there are crossovers and comparisons. We're all Americans, but within that microcosm of America, there's a whole subculture and a whole history that black people have that isn't appended to white people. And so I don't feel like I have any justification to jump in on that fucking argument or to tell any black person how they should feel about me using a fucking word. It's better for me to respect the diversity of opinion that exists within the black community about the use of that word by not saying it. That's where I land on it. I think a lot of white people don't understand the depth of the pain there. A lot of people of color don't know their own history because their ancestors were slaves. Right. Like, so I can go on fucking, I can go on ancestry.com, right? Which I've done, sign up for it. I can go look at my family tree and I can use record searches to find my family members that I never knew existed and their whole tree of aunts and uncles and great aunts and great uncles and great grandfathers, great great aunts and all this shit. I can know all this shit about myself because I'm a white person. If I were a black person and I sat down and signed up for ancestry.com and my family came here as slaves, I'm going to be able to trace about a quarter of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to be really lucky and have like that branch of your tree serving like someone higher up in society where they had to like list everyone.
Even then.
Yeah.
Where did they come from in Africa?
Yeah.
What were their names before they took slave names?
Yeah.
What part of Africa were they brought from? Question mark, question mark, question mark. They can't trace back to their roots. I'm able to look at my ancestors going all the way back to Ireland and England. Black people, it fucking stops. And then like 1860, 1870, maybe if you're lucky as a black person, you could trace back that far, but you have no fucking clue where your family came from before that. What part of Africa are you from? What tribe were they part of? When were they taken? At what point was your family brought here? Maybe that's just the first member of your family. Who were their parents? You can't. That's a unique experience in America.
I mean, existential dread. My stepdad's kind of in that camp. He considers himself a black Puerto Rican and not an African American because he identifies more with that.
Right. That branch of his ancestry. Sure. I mean, it's a very complex thing. Vamp says I'm a mixed guy from up in the South, and it's different kind of pain because the white side of my family owned slaves and fought in the Confederacy. I mean, yeah, think about that. And that's absolutely true. If you look at people of mixed heritage, the white side of their family may have been involved in impressing the black side of their family, and they can trace that white side back to X, but the black side nowhere. So you're right. Yeah, I mean, there's a unique experience for people of color, especially black folks in this country. Not to diminish the experience of other people of color, but black folks especially have a super unique American history that can't be replicated. It's not an experience. Like, look, you can listen to black people in music, in movies, just talking. You can listen to those folks talk about what it's like to grow up black. But you can't go back and have those experiences.
Yeah, like talking about the ancestry thing, it's actually like the least accurate for black people because there's not enough data.
Of course.
So it's like you can have everything like broken down by like these are all the countries and
right.
stuff. But
here are all the different regions of the
data to do that.
Right. So black folks just get like, oh, you're sub-Saharan African or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't find out, you can't find out like, oh, my great grandfather was part of the Zulu nation. You can't do, there's just no facility for that.
Yeah. it would have to involve cross-referencing a lot of people, like in Africa, to try to determine genetic markers.
If they're still there.
Yeah.
If their whole family wasn't wiped out by slavery and your
Yeah.
grandfather wasn't the only survivor of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like some people can definitely trace back further. Just in general, it's not as accurate.
I have returned. Retorno. Kind of funny, and in America, blacks are African Americans, like that's our label. Well, I mean, that's one of the labels that is applied. African Americans. I don't know. That's another one, you know. Like back in the day, like I remember my mom saying the word black in hushed tones back in the day. Like she would be like, they were black. And now it's like,
It's not even back in the day. I think she's done that not too long ago.
she still does it. My mom, she is who she is. But like the word black used to be a more angry kind of accusatory word. Like it had a different feel back in the day, and now it seems like the black community has embraced it, which I think is cool.
And like we're in a new era too, where there's like more recent African immigrants.
Sure.
It would be more appropriate to say African American because they're.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure black people have a diversity of opinion on the use of that term as well, like African American. Some of them probably like it, like the fact that their ancestry is referenced, and some people probably don't. I don't know. Exactly. I have no idea what my family in Africa is like or how they are, but I have family in Germany. No, I have family in Germany because those lines are still connected. It's identity affecting. Of course it is. Yeah, my parents are still of that weird. I only respect the ones who didn't act like insert gamer word here. And like going through high school and all my new friends were black was a weird feeling. Yeah, dude. I mean, there were not a lot of black folks where I grew up when I was coming up through the school system. And one of the only black kids in my school that was the same year as me, well, he, not that it matters, he was mixed. A guy named Brian, and he was a good friend of mine for a very long time. And my mom didn't treat him poorly, but she exposed him to things like questions that he shouldn't have had to answer. Like, for example, when he first came over, my mom grilled him about his sneakers. He had a pair of like really cool Nike sneakers, whatever. And she was like, why do y'all always wear shoes like that? Like, what's up with these black shoes? you know? And he'd be like, "We need black shoes." I just like these shoes. It's not, not a good look. And this is just one generation behind me. So I'm saying, like, anybody that thinks that, racism is over, or has this idea that racism is a done deal in America, is just fucking ignoring the big stinky pile of it that's right under their fucking nose.
Do you think superior heterosexual being too trolly? I don't know. Attila made the decision.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I trust. If you have to ask that, just nuke them.
Yeah.
Black shoes, yeah. The firm hand of Othello.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like a different kind of stuff. Like, for now, like he was saying after 9/11, because he was the particular kind of brown.
Right. Of course.
Middle Eastern-y-ish.
Right. I mean, like that, it's funny that so many different diverse cultures got lumped into that. Sikhs, Indian folk that predominantly
probably, like Filipino folk, and probably
it's a joke in American society, but a lot of Indian folk came here and established businesses, and one of the easier businesses to start and establish and keep up is like Quickie Marts, 7-Elevens, that type of thing. Those people were treated like fucking shit. Had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, had nothing to do with Afghanistan or Al Qaeda or any plot against America. They were just brown. They looked the right kind of brown, and they caught shit everywhere in this fucking country. And now we're watching Asian people get it. We're watching this rise in anti-Asian hate crimes and anti-Asian sentiment online that's normalized in a way through some of the political talking and shit that goes on. The Wuhan flu, the China virus, Chinese this and Chinese that. And now Asian people are suffering as a result. And it's like...
I mean, yeah.
But racism is over, guys.
Not like Japanese internment camp racism, but...
No, but I mean...
Like, that's probably the last time that it was super prominent in America. It's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time since there was this type of anti-Asian sentiment in America. But Asians have caught shit all through that.
Yeah.
Asian store owners... caught shit all over America. It's the same thing. It's like Indian people that come here to better their lives, start a small business, and then they catch shit from their customer base because of what they are. And then something happens that they get incorrectly attached to because of the color of their skin, and now they're in danger. Most Asian people aren't even from China. No shit. Filipinos, Vietnamese people, fucking Hmong people, they all get fucking thrown into the same basket. I want to look at anti-Indian sentiment come to England. Gee, I wonder how England established a strong anti-Indian undercurrent. Couldn't be that you like fucking occupied all of India for a generation or two.
I mean, I think it was more than a generation.
Yeah, you're right. I literally had a conversation before with a friend about anti-Asian sentiment, and he said Asians are practically treated as whites in America. They don't get to talk. I mean, like, it's definitely, like, it's unique, though. It's just, you have to have an open mind, and you have to be willing to look at the difference in experience that is typified by all of the different racial subgroups that make up America. And each one of them has their own thing. Look, I'm not comparing one to the other, But even lower class white folks have faced this type of oppression. Like my family is Irish on both sides and came here during a time where literally, like on storefronts, they would say, "We don't hire Irish." Irish people were treated like absolute fucking garbage. And then a lot of my family went to Arkansas and Oklahoma. And during the Dust Bowl, pushed left or pushed west and east because they were fleeing this and were made fun of and treated like shit, called Okies and Arkies and ditch bank Okies. These were people that were and they were treated like they were just like a lower class. So even within the white community, there has been an enormous amount of racial division and division based on your background, division based on where you're raised. So this is a complex issue even within the white community. And you want to reduce the black experience down to, well, I'm just going to drop the N-word because it's contextual. It's like, what?
Like another thing you've been kind of picking up recently is like the intersectionality of privilege.
Right. Like that's something that like had to be explained to me, and I had to really open my mind and look into what it meant and how there are different layers of privilege, and the level of privilege that you have is different based on a lot of different factors. Like a black woman has a different experience, a different American experience than a black man does. There are different social pressures, different social ills that uniquely affect black women. You know what I mean? And it goes all the way to back to what I was talking about before. In my little hometown, there's a part of it that's still called Little Okie. And that is where people that came in the Dust Bowl were forced to live, and it is still a shithole. It's still the worst part of town. And, you know, people that were from Arkansas and Oklahoma who made massive migrations to the Central Valley of California to farm it were treated like absolute garbage for, 80 years or more. This is all just racist-minded circular logic. What? Say what? How do you feel about the argument of stay in your lane when referring to criticism of people that look different with you? I struggle with this concept personally. I feel no one is above criticism. I mean, I don't read the comment above. Okay, yeah, I just thought, it's hard because I thought you were talking about me. I thought you were referring to moi. So no, I get it now. Yeah, I get it now. Sorry. There's a city in Michigan with a street named White Temple Road, and it connects to Monkey Run Road. I wonder how that came to be. I mean, there's tons of like, there's literally a town in Texas called White Settlement, Texas. That's the name of the town, White Settlement. Go look it up. And it started as a all-white settlement.
It's like if you look at like big cities too, the Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is a lot of times the dividing line.
Right. It like announces the beginning of the ghetto.
Yeah.
Yep. The fact that infrastructure is built over black communities. In Dallas, the highway goes above a black neighborhood. Of course. Of course. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with this, and there's no way that I'm the right person to talk about every unique social ill and social pressure that is placed upon people of different races. But I open my mind to that, and I appreciate it. I appreciate how the experience of a black person or a brown person or an Asian person in this country is different from mine. And that's that. Dallas is, there's this quote from my favorite documentary of all time, The Thin Blue Line by Errol Morris. And the main subject of the documentary says that my mother always said, if there's a hell on earth, it's Dallas County. And I think she was right. And I absolutely fucking agree. I fucking hate Dallas. What's your opinion on cis privilege? I am a trans man who definitely feel its effects, especially in the dating world. I mean, sure, that's part of intersectionality, right? That's part of the intersectionality of privilege. So a gay man is going to have a level of cis privilege that a trans man is not, right? And the experiences of those two individuals is going to be completely different based on their unique orientation, their unique biological makeup, right? And
That
so
intersects with other kinds of privileges.
sure. So I mean, we were talking about my bisexuality the other day, and we didn't really go into intersectionality in that talk. But when I was talking about the bi closet being a weird thing, I was really talking about what I would call bi privilege in terms of being a closeted non heterosexual, because as a bi man, I was able to suppress the homosexual part of myself and date nothing but women my whole life. And so, as such, present as a straight man my whole life. And I really didn't feel like I was denied by that, other than the fact that I would never pursue a relationship with a man. But it's still a closet. It's still something that I would have been heavily judged for had I come out when I was 20, 15. You know what I mean? But because of my particular makeup, my particular sexuality, I was able to hide that part of myself without and still have the privilege of having a bunch of variously successful relationships, long-term relationships.
I mean, Martha, you're saying like never be sexual in public. It's like you can't, like, is holding hands sexual?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Where do you draw the line? I'm not saying it's like overly privileged gone rewilding. I'm just saying that there is a different level of privilege that a cis bisexual person has that other people that might identify like a bisexual trans person doesn't have. Right? Yeah, women are showing their ankles these days, man. Keep that shit in the bedroom. Cover those ankles. Every time I see an ankle, I go into a sex frenzy. It's ridiculous. Check those ankles. All right, your ankles are covered. You're fine. Make sure mom's ankles don't come out. You watch them ankles, D. You watch them. You want to come up here? Say hello to everybody? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You want to say hi. You want to say hi? You probably don't need this sweater no more, little boy.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hot.
Let's take off your sweater, huh? Can you let Dad do this for you? Paw through. Good boy. Second paw through. Good boy. Sweater up. There you go. I'll put it right here. It's not going anywhere. We'll put it back on if you want it, but I think you a little hot. It's plenty warm to not need that sweater.
Yeah, I turned on the heat last night, but it probably won't be much longer.
No. I would guess not. My little boy.
So grumbly. So sleepy.
Oh, dirty D. Oh, dirty Dusty D. Where's your bow? Go find your bow.
Or your rope. You left your rope out there, too.
How was your rope? Good morning, Captain Morgans. As a former Starbucks employee, how evil are they compared to other corporations? I can only speak for Starbucks up through like 2008. Well, I'm trying to think when I quit Starbucks. Yeah, 2008. And I used to, and still do, kind of recommend that people that are looking for jobs try and get jobs there. Because when it comes to corporations, I mean, they've got their problems. They definitely do anti-unionization propaganda and shit. But while I was there, Starbucks was pretty much the only job of its kind.
Oh my goodness.
Starbucks is pretty much the only job of its kind that offered full benefits to part-time workers, stock sharing, like automatic, just because you're a worker, stock sharing plans that were reflected by how many hours you worked. So at the end of every quarter, all of the hours that I worked were tallied, and algorithmically I was granted a certain amount of stock options. So I'm telling you, like, for a fucking fast food job, really, which is what Starbucks basically is, especially at this point, they take pretty fucking good care of their employees, not gonna lie.
Like, would you feel like you were overworked a lot?
You know what, dude?
That
No.
was kind of the thing you were most offended by, was the Amazon thing, was how hard I had to work.
I was never put in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Starbucks was a tough job. Like, the rush in the morning was crazy. It was just, you had to go into a certain mindset, but it had an ebb and a flow to it. So it's like the rush would die down. You'd get a chance to take a break, take a breather, clean up the store a little bit, and then it kind of, would move into the afternoon. You have a little afternoon pop when people came in for lunch. So it was a day that had its like frenetic activity, but it was like this, You'd be worn the fuck out when you left, but I didn't feel like it like worked me to the fucking bone.
Do they even allow like overtime? Because I know some companies don't do
They don't.
overtime. Yeah.
Yeah, Starbucks does not allow OT except in extreme situations.
Yeah.
So like, I got OT like probably 3 times working at Starbucks. It's usually management that's allowed to do it. So shift leaders and above.
Yeah.
And I got OT 3 or 4 times because I had to work a full day. Like, I would open the store.
Yeah.
Mid manager would call in sick. Night manager would call in sick. The other option is for me to try and call around. So I would do that. I would get my employees in, let them run the store for a minute, go in the back, call around to other stores to try and find a shift lead. But there were multiple times where I couldn't.
Yeah.
And in that position, I called the DM and my store manager and tell them, like, look, it's me or nobody.
Yeah.
And they approve me working overtime, and I work a whole fucking day.
Like when I was working at Dress Barn they wouldn't even let the managers do that. Like if they got even close to overtime, it's like, oh, you got to take like a 3-hour lunch or something, so
Yeah.
you don't go over the edge.
Yeah, I mean, it was very. They were very like big on you work your shift, you clock in right on time, you clock out right on
Yeah.
time. So. You live in a right to work state. You might want to get out of there, Vamp. Might want to get the fuck out of the South. I know that's easier said than done, but. Ain't Paul in the South? Never again in my life.
I mean, Indiana's basically the South. It's like the very tippy top of the South.
Yeah, pretty much. Kinda.
I mean, that's like, because if you draw the line at Kentucky, there's a lot of Indiana that touches Kentucky. So.
Yeah. Getting out of the swamp is a personal long-term goal. And do what you got to do, man. Yeah, I live in Carcosa now.
I mean, Paul doesn't want like random news updates. It's Monday.
Yeah, Monday is my fun day.
Yeah, Wednesday is the news day.
Yeah, I face the fucking horrors of the world on Wednesday.
No, dude, you're. He's being too dumb.
Yeah, just let him go. Let him go. He's got the dumbest name I've ever seen, so.
And he doesn't get context at
No.
all.
Paul obviously lives in Alaska. Look at all the snow. Yep, you guys got me. You got me. I want to release a Banned by Paul shirt.
Yeah.
I think it would sell. I think a lot of people would buy a Banned by Paul shirt. Maybe like I got banned by Paul and all I got was this stupid shirt. I'd buy that for $1. Keep it simple enough, I'll scoop, see? Lee, come here.
What's he doing?
Come here. Let me help you out. You get sticks and shit all over your nose and face. Quit snoofling in the dirt.
Yeah. Leave that kitty cat alone with her babies. That kitty cat don't want none of you.
Mm-mm.
Got lucky the other day. She was holding the kitten. She couldn't put it down and fight.
Yep. Ooh, nice screech. Hear it? Nice hiss. Ooh, nice hiss. Those trees behind me are CG. Wouldn't it be weird one day if I was sitting out here and all of a sudden it flickered and fucking like dimmed for a second, and then I was like, oh shit. It came back on. I was like, whew. Never mind. I'm just playing like wilderness sounds and ambient sounds, and I'm sitting in a fucking bunker 12 miles below the earth. My holodeck, yeah. Good screeches going on today. Red tails are out hunting. I hear them out that way. It's always cool when they come closer to us to hunt, but I see them farther out more.
I'm gonna do a little walk of the yard later today, just see what's going on.
See what's what. Yeah. Well, Mama Cat is got the stashing the kittens in there.
Yeah.
So in that pile somewhere there are kitties. I don't know if I want to go over there and like look for them or whatever.
Yeah, not like to bother them, but just to see overall what's going on.
See what's doing.
If there's any dead things that need to be not out there for 9 or.
Probably a good idea. Oh, that was a booty hit. Oh man, that was a booty ass hit. Oh man.
Just too ashy.
Yeah. I got the ass of the bowl. Got the ass end of that bowl. That was cashed. Yes, please, Vamp. Yes, please. That's my poison. What do you got? I like them both. I like mixtures. I like hybrids. I like edibles. I'm all over the place, bud. My toilet won't flush, Paul. What do? Get banned, probably, or get timed. I would guess. Was it hard to find a new plug after your move? I moved to a place where I don't have to have a plug anymore. I moved to a place where my plug is legal. So I go on Weed Maps and I find the dispensary that I order from, and I put an order together on Weed Maps, and then I hit order, and then later that day they bring me a bunch of weed. And it's all straight on the up and up. I've had edibles from everywhere, and I will tell you this: they are not, as a rule, more potent than homemade edibles. The most potent homemade edible that I've ever had was actually made by Ben back in the DP days. He came over to TJ's house when I was living there and brought a tray of brownies. And he was like, dude, you have to be careful with these. These are like I made these with triple strength can of butter.
Oh, like with the Ohio kind of?
No, this was back in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
And he made his own can of butter, and he did a 3-stage can of butter refining process where he was like, it's triple strength can of butter, so these are fucking Space Cadet brownies. And I was like, sick. So I ate 2 and went to the moon. I laid down in TJ's chair, and that used to have like that electronic kickback thing, and I was literally on the moon for about 3 hours. I just laid there and enjoyed being alive. Yeah, those were crazy. That 100% the most potent edible I've ever eaten. And yeah, I've never gotten anything like that at a pot shop. I've gotten brownies and gummies and shit. I will tell you this. Back in the early days when I had a medical card in California, the gummies and shit that you used to get used to be way stronger. I warned the dudes. This is an old apocryphal story, dude. I warned the guys when they came to LA and I met them for the first time, because I was their hookup in LA because I had a green card in Cali at the time. And Cali was not legal at the time, and so I was responsible for getting all the weed for DP, which was that's a hefty amount of fucking weed. And I warned the dudes because they gave me a bunch of money. I went to a dispensary in Studio City, got everything they wanted, brought it back, and then I warned the guys. I was like, look, these gummies You're gonna want to have like one or two of these, maybe just one, and chill on it for a minute because these are no fucking joke. They were gummy bears, you know, like the normal size gummy bears. And I was like, trust me on this shit. The only one that was able to go to match me that day was TJ. TJ has a prodigious weed tolerance. Scotty was oh boy. When I say oh boy, I mean like Ben was oh boy. But me and TJ sat up and had like a 2-day long conversation and just, I don't know what the milligram dosage was on them. I can't remember. I just warned them that like, dude, one or two of these is going to put you just right. And nobody listened. They were eating fistfuls. Whoops. They were having fistfuls. Dude, 800 milligrams of edibles, yeah, you're going to be a space cadet at that, unless you've got a real super duper duper high tolerance. But even then, an 800 milligram edible is going to put you on the moon. Like most edibles are 5 milligram edibles. Like nowadays, I find. Can't get over the anxiety of weed, then don't. This is ground control to Major Tom.
Like some people can't smoke weed, some people can't drink alcohol. It's like
Yep.
some people can't even drink coffee. It's too much. So.
True that. You got to know your limits. Weed is the only thing that gets rid of my anxiety. I mean, it helps mine too. My sister made me some edibles last week that I didn't tell me the THC content because she didn't know I ate 3 and found out that they were 300 to 500 milligrams each. Yeah, I mean that'll put you on the moon. No more 420 weed cast shit. Let's be done with this. I don't want to talk about weed all goddamn day. Can I see your clock?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
An hour. I'm gonna feed you this morning.
Yeah. No bones about it, huh?
I don't know what you want. I'll feed you something.
Oh, D. The waggiest tail of all.
Mm-hmm.
The waggiest tail. The waggiest tail.
Cricket basically wags his tail.
Yeah, he does.
Swoop, swoop.
Like he'll lay in my lap and I'll just feel his tail patting my leg. He just lays there and like pats his tail. Rarely get to watch these lives. Cuddle that dinosaur for me while I clean this dumpster fire of an apartment. Yep. Well, when he wants some more cuddles, I will do that. Have the peacocks sieged your residence yet? I haven't seen any of them, but man, they're around. I got a good boy a few months ago. He's a black lab pit bull mix. He's done wonders for my mental, honestly better for my mood than the antidepressants I used to take. That's good. Yeah, dogs have a real positive, or animals in general can have a real positive effect on mental health. Dinor is basically, I mean, he's not registered as one, but he's basically my emotional support animal. So, for sure. Any cool posters? Yeah. I mean, you can see I've got a full-size original Hellraiser release post. I mean, it's not like an OG from back in the day, but it's a reprint. But it's a full-size, marquee-sized Hellraiser poster. That's probably my favorite poster that I have, honestly. I've got a Goonies poster that's pretty dope.
You gotta put up your poster you got from Chelsea.
Yep. Chelsea got me a poster for my birthday. Chelsea and TJ got me a poster for my birthday from Disco Elysium. And I want to buy like 4 or 5 more of those and put them up somewhere in the house. Make like a cluster of them because they're just so fucking cool. Yeah, I'm starting to think about getting some like artwork and stuff and putting it up. Trying to make the house look a little cool, look a little aesthetic. Put the posters in the studio. Yeah, I mean, my shot only has room for so many posters, and I've got a lot of other cool stuff hanging up there that Chelsea does do some cool artwork. I've been meaning to like talk to Chelsea about commissioning a painting from her. Like, I would like to just green light her a painting and just pay her whatever she feels it would take and get like a decent sized painting. I'll pay to have it shipped, the whole 9. But I would love to have some Chelsea art up on my wall. I wish that I still had some TJ art. Like, TJ did these amazing portraits of everybody that was in the New Mexico house when we were there for the DP meetup. And I wish I still had my poster of that. But I don't know what happened to those. But yeah, I'd like to get a Chelsea original. Just green light, have her make me something, however she wants to make it. Yeah. Yeah. Chelsea is a talented painter, a talented collage artist, a mixed media artist. So, I would just greenlight her. Like, make me something that you think I would like. Tell me what it costs. Ever seen a turkey fly? Had one fly across my path the other day and hit the ground running on the other side. Nope. I don't think I've ever seen a turkey fly. Have you ever seen a whale with a polka dot tail? Have you ever seen a man with 8 fingers on his hand? Did you have to dry your eye when you saw that monkey fly? Oh no. Tell me it ain't so. Have you ever tried to shrink like an ice cube in the sink? Have you ever tried to see what lies hidden in the tree? You should be an opera singer. Dude, I have nowhere near the richness of tone needed to sing opera. Go listen to somebody singing opera. I've got a gravelly voice. I could do rock singing. I could be a rock singer. Like, she told me to come, but I was already there. And the world stopped shaking. The earth started quaking. Dude, I think Puddle of Mud should butcher all of the classics. dude. Sit and drink pennyroyal tea. Kill the light that's inside of me. You know what I mean? Sussy? What's sussy? Who's sussy? What are you talking about, sussy? Better not be saying I'm sussy. I ain't no sussy. Let me pull this out because it's just never gonna fucking dry if I don't. I can tell. Never gonna dry. You're just gonna stay fucking wet all day if I don't do this. Puddle of Mud album would be shit. Agreed. Agreed. I showered like 2.5 hours ago and my hair is still fucking soaked. Sit and drink pennyroyal tea. Kill like that's inside me. Oh damn, I can do remixes here. Doop 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 doop. Corey Feldman covering Puddle of Mud songs. That might open up a fucking wormhole to the Cthulhu dimension or something. Gotta fetch that dino. You like Feldman's music? Well, he's definitely an outsider musician. I'll give you that much. By the way, Cabin in the Woods, I know that's you, Corey. I know that's you. Dude, if Puddle of Mud covered Dream On by Aerosmith, the lead singer of Puddle of Mud would have an aneurysm mid-song. I'll see you later, Prob. Gotta air this hair. This hair needs air. Come on, hair. Get some air. What's going on with you? Get your bow. Gotta drop it. No take, only throw. No take, only throw. Oops. Dad just hook shotted it onto the chair. Can you deal with it? You can get it. Is it humid out or something? No, I just have hair that is super duper thick, so it stays wet all fucking day when I wash it. I washed it this morning, and so I gotta let it dry out. It must dry. The hair must dry. The hair must dry. If I left it up in that ponytail, it'd be wet all fucking day. I'd pull it down like at 8 tonight and it would look like this. So I gotta let it. What? You can't get it? You can't do it? Just get it. Good boy. See, I told you you could do it. Ooh, good snag. If you ever decide to cut your hair, would you donate it for a good cause? I don't really think there are any good causes. Look up Locks of Love, man. They're not a great charity. I donate it to a fan that wanted to make a wig out of it. A prematurely balding fan would get all this hair. Donate it to a landfill, yeah. Think of the starving children. I know. How premature is premature? I mean, I don't know. Like if you're in your 20s or like early 30s and you're like significantly bald, I'd say that's premature. But I'm not going to cut it. Would you donate it to me, an SPFX makeup artist who could make a prosthetic out of it? Yep. Sure thing, boss. If I ever cut it, but I'm not cutting it. The longer it gets, the more I like it. So it's going to just grow. I'm just going to let it go. Let it flow. Let yourself go. Paul Wig, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? Paul Wig. Ugh. Currently 8-0 on ladder for today. I think it's because your soothing tones are giving me luck. What ladder are you playing? Like what game? What game? I just need some war paint now. Yeah. Some Celtic war paint, like half my face blue. Just like a line down the center, and this whole side of my face is blue. Tell me that wouldn't look dope, dude. Maybe I need to start doing that shit. I'm a genuine Celt. My roots are Celtic. I You could even put like some of that blue clay kind of makeup in the beard too. Like do some streaks of blue in it. Some beads in my hair. Like get some big knots. Like, you know what I mean? Like make some big like and then just be like some big chunky Celtic beads and that shit. What do you think? You know what I mean? Just all the way around the head. Or maybe just right here in front. Just get this front part done. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking. Like some bone jewelry kind of hanging in this shit. Big chunky fucking beads. Have it hanging down there. Maybe even get some for the beard. Just like get one for the lower beard that holds it. Hell yeah, dude. Have somebody, what? Blow a war drum? Oh, play a war drum. Yeah, dude. Doom, 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 doom. Ugh. Okay, that's enough. I should learn the bagpipe. Endurance hunting, yeah. Endurance hunting. Sorry, I just have to fucking like aerate this hair. You guys are just gonna have to watch my ritual of drying out the hair. Has to be aerated. It's gonna be fluffed and shit until it dries. Dry, you bastards. Usually keep it dry when showering. I do. I only wash my hair about once every week and a half or so. That seems to be the sweet spot for me. My hair has a tendency to be very dry and brittle if I wash it too much. So somewhere between a week and a half is what I go between washing my hair. So I put it up in a big bun or whatever when I shower and keep it as dry as possible usually. Learned that lesson the hard way. Me too. Me too, me too. You wash your beard every day, of course. But I only wash my beard, like, here's the thing. There are special soaps and shit that they will sell you for your beard. I don't use that shit. I don't put any soap in my beard at all. I wash my beard by running it under the water. The beard takes care of itself. You don't want to strip the oils out of the beard. You just want it to be clean. So I just let the water clean it. Still use beard oils, still use a beard balm. Know of any hair products that make your hair look thicker? Nope. They say Manny's load is still in his beard. Yeah, dude. Fucking Manny load beard, dude. He did it. That bastard. That bastard. Well, have you considered hair dryers? I don't like hair dryers. They dry out my scalp and shit. This is the best way for me, is just to put it up after the shower and let it kind of start the drying process, and then eventually to just let it down and use my fingers to kind of drag through it and aerate it until it's dry. Once it's dry, it'll be fine. I put a bust a nut oil in my girl's hair. She says it works well. Can make your shit frizzy too. Yeah, I'm not a fan of hair dryers, so I don't use them. You've been chosen by God to have thick hair, and I'm just fucking Scottish, British, Irish. All right, I'm gonna be done for now. I'm gonna go get ready for work.